because you don't understand that whatever groceries you put in your basket every day, or how many times a week you go buying like everyday goods, every single item leaves a CO2 emission.
Exactly. So Andrew, I mean, what's your favourite form of payment then?
I mean, I use PayPal a lot actually, and I have Monzo. So Monzo's, I think in London Monzo's so big as well,
Yes,
and really
they are.
And because so many people have Monzo in London, it makes life so much easier. I think more customers means easier payment, right?
Yeah. And do you take payments through Monzo and card that way?
Sometimes I can do, but now and then, depending. Again, cash can be king in some instances. It all depends.
But I think you said one interesting thing there, because you talked about London. But a news flash, like the world is bigger than London.
100%. Us Londoners, we don't know anywhere north apart from...
People is actually living outside of London, and that's when digital transactions really come handy, because you do transactions in a broader sense than in your hometown. So
100%. Well, we don't see anywhere north than Watford in London.
Exactly. So
it's a different country. Now, one thing that Europe does lead in is green initiatives.
Yes.
And I understand Enfuce works quite heavily in that too. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I think this is something that every single one of us should care about. What are we leaving behind to the next generations? And I guess in whatever industry you are, you can think about how are you doing your business today, what could you do differently, and could you actually make a bigger impact than just you or your own company. And with that in mind, me and my co-founder Monica, we were thinking that what could we leave behind? How could we actually try to make the world a better place for our children? Because together we have 6 of them, so we are leaving a bunch behind. So we need to do something, and that's how we came about with My Carbon Action, and it's just an educational tool. So by understanding what CO2 emissions you are consuming in your everyday life, you can start to make small changes and actually improving your behavior, and hopefully less CO2 emissions as the years go by.
Amazing. Now, because I think payments and finance, because of it being such a tertiary office-based industry, you don't see maybe some of the impact that it can have. And I think one thing that's quite interesting is behind every payment, I think there is almost like a CO2 footprint.
Yes.
And learning a bit more about how if you give the customer power to understand how much they're imprinting from a payment.
So I don't understand that. So how is there CO2
behind a payment?
Behind a payment, that's from an outsider's perspective. That's something we could be educated on, because that doesn't make sense to me,
Yeah, exactly, because you don't understand that whatever groceries you put in your basket every day, or how many times a week you go buying like everyday goods, every single item leaves a CO2 emission behind.
Of course, yeah.
And if you are aware, like which tomatoes should you choose? Should you go with avocado or something else? By becoming just a little more aware, you will start to make better choices. Like, why do you want the tomatoes that were shipped in from Spain when you actually have something that's been growing in UK and have less CO2 impact on the world?
Definitely.
So and also then what do you throw away? Like, how much CO2 emissions do you just carry home and then you throw it away because you just buy too much?
Waste, yeah.